A big move by the Trump administration, its strongest message yet for jurisdictions that provide safe haven to illegal immigrants. Attorney General Jeff Sessions announcing a lawsuit today against the sanctuary state of California from its capital, Sacramento.
California, we have a problem. The California legislature has enacted a number of laws designed to intentionally obstruct the work of our sworn immigration officers. That's why the department filed a suit against the state of California to invalidate these unjust laws and to immediately freeze their effect. I fundamentally believe at my core that we should not further endanger the lives of those who risk everything for us because some officials want to violate the law in promoting an agenda that the American people reject.
Sessions specifically called out the mayor who warned illegals last month that the feds were coming.
The mayor of Oakland has been actively seeking to help illegal aliens avoid apprehension by ICE. So here's my message to Mayor Schaaf. How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda.
California's governor responding with some fire of his own.
This is really unprecedented for the chief law enforcement of the United States to come out to California and act more like Fox News than a law enforcement officer. This is a political stunt, and it's not about the truth. It's not about protecting our state. It's about dividing America.
Oh, no, you didn't. All right. The state's getting a visit from President Trump next week as well. Okay, so let's go California, shall we, Greg?
I was triggered by him, Mr. Brown. I believe there should be a sanctuary city for Fox News. An entire city, just like airports for CNN. Entire cities where all you can listen to is Fox News. In California, that's a true sanctuary city, a liberal city. Why not create cities for that? That's the problem with this whole story that they're with the mayor of Oakland. 3 words that make me giggle. If you follow the law and you're breaking the law, you realize that this could easily be reversed. People can do this to you, too. If you believe that this law isn't worth following, then somebody else can do that, too. For example, a sanctuary city for the unborn. I mean, the media would go apoplectic if you said, here's a city where we will not perform any abortions at all. That would not happen. That would not happen. But here, you can do that because you agree with this law. And I think what these battles are designed for is to create celebrities, right? If you stand up against evil Trump, you're going to become famous, especially when you're the mayor of Oakland, which is like you don't have any achievements behind you when you're the mayor of Oakland. So become famous by standing up to evil Trump. That's her achievement.
All right, so Dana, what do you make of this? I mean, obviously it's symbolic. He's going straight to sort of the root of the problem, making an appearance there, talking about this, and it's been quite widespread in terms of the criticism of California, San Francisco in particular, as a safe haven for illegals.
I think it's an interesting strategy and possibly a really good one for the federal government because at this point, they're on offense. And the state is going to be on defense. Previously, it had sort of always been like the feds were on their heels. Well, now, by filing this lawsuit, the state is going to have to show up and try to defend themselves on these cases. And I think, I'm not a lawyer, but I think the supremacy clause of the Constitution is going to bear out. But we know that the courts have been all over the place on this. So I think this is actually probably a useful exercise for us to find out, okay, where is the law actually on it? On the political side of things, everyone gets to rally. So Jerry Brown loved it today, and everyone, the Democrats will love this today. President Trump's people will have loved what Jeff Sessions did, and then they're going to get excited because the president will be there next week, and so it's setting up for like high noon at the border. The last thing I would say is I'm curious about the point of this mayor and the legal point about her tipping off her citizens that the ICE raid is coming. I don't know if it's illegal, but it doesn't have to be illegal for it to sound wrong. Okay, like that just sounds like the wrong thing to do. And if it was like if she was giving a heads up to a drug lord that the cops are coming and there's going to be a bust, that would be obstruction. Because she's trying to help out the drug lord. This one, I don't know where this would actually end up, but it does feel like it's the wrong thing to do.
Okay, Jesse.
Sessions should throw the book at this mayor, because if this happens once and it's allowed, then everyone's going to do it, like you said, these mini celebrities. I'm glad Sessions woke up. I haven't heard from him in a while. This is good. I think Governor Moonbeam's going to go down here. The law is not on his side. His state is basically preventing the federal government from conducting raids and doing their jobs. They just did a raid the other day. I mean, look at some of these nasty people. 232 illegals arrested. 180 of them convicted criminals. And look at some of the crimes. Serious offenses, child sex crimes, weapons charges, assault. Some of them had been back and forth over the border numerous times. So these aren't good people. These aren't just like regular farm workers that are trying to make a living. These are bad hombres. So keeping criminals in cities is dangerous and dumb. A kindergartner can understand that logic. I don't understand why the Democrats don't get that. States have clashed over issues for years. I mean, over pot, over marriage, over voter ID with the federal government. Now it's over immigration. The difference here, it's about public safety. And let's just pretend something, Juan. If some local gun dealer wasn't complying with the federal background checks when they sold weapons, they say, you know, I don't agree with that. I don't like the database deal with the FBI. I'm not even going to check it. And I'm not going to cooperate. It's the same kind of thing. It's dangerous. The Democrats at least should admit that they're pro-open borders and pro-illegal immigration, because everybody would eventually know.
I see. Well, that's very interesting.
Two different viewpoints, but both in purple ties. Interesting.
Bad hombres. Is it Cinco de Mayo? Maybe you and Trump can have tacos for lunch. I just think this is so absurd. In the first place, the mayor of Oakland is not getting in the way of the law. She's not stopping them from conducting their raids. Not at all.
She tipped them off.
And in fact, no, what she did was she informally learned that these raids were coming, and to deal with the high level of anxiety right now in the immigrant community and specifically
these
in the
poor
Hispanic...
illegal alien rapists are getting anxious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, Juan. These are the people you're sticking up for.
I tell you what, let's have the American rapist. Let's get American rapist off the...
We're doing both.
Okay. But here you have a situation where there are three things at stake, according to Xavier Becerra, who's the Attorney General of California. He says that you're not going to allow cops to ask people about citizenship. So it's not like papers, please, if you stop somebody at a stoplight. No, you can't just start asking people that. Two, no workplace raids without a subpoena or a warrant. And finally, no contract with for-profit organizations that come in and grab people and hold them for the feds. This is not interfering with the federal government, not interfering with ICE. This is simply saying that local money and local authority understands that, as Jesse said, this is a public safety issue.
Yeah, it is.
And you want the immigrants in your state, in your city, to cooperate with police and not be afraid
you're not
that they're
going to
be
get deported for dropping a dime,
unfairly.
That never happens.
Oh, let me just tell you
if
something.
If you snitch,
that's
not
a
good
good
thing, and they're going to
about.
keep you here. They're not going to deport you for snitching.
Allow me to make my larger point on this, which is
larger point and then
that
legal
I
point.
think that this is a distraction. I think one Sessions, who I'm surprised that you're putting down Trump's Attorney General, but that's okay,
I
Jesse.
just haven't heard a lot from him.
Well, you call him
No,
Mr. Magoo, whatever, but I'm going to say maybe you're onto something. Maybe he's appeasing President Trump and setting up for his visit next week because he feels like maybe this...
Maybe he's doing his job,
You don't think Jeff Sessions believes that?
No, I do, but I think maybe he right now is pushing this suit because that's the news of the day, the suit, Dana. The second thing I'd say is maybe he doesn't want people to focus on why his wife got into this country on a so-called Einstein exception. Einstein? Really? She's an Einstein?
You don't think she's smart?
No.
Yeah, she is.
And how about how her parents...
Just because she's a woman.
How did her parents get in here? Oh, chain migration. I thought he hated chain... But not when it's him. Not when it's his family.
I think Melania qualifies for merit-based.
Oh, yeah, is that right? Einstein.
I would say merit-based.
I think
with
you
Melania.
should get the Einstein.
Pretty talented.
There still isn't any credible statistics that talk about how this issue affects cooperation with police. At least I haven't seen it, and I've been looking for it. The one thing when you said when you said I'm not a lawyer and where is the law on this, the real winners in all this stuff are lawyers, because every issue that we talk about, it always goes back to lawyers and cases and going to court, and it really is getting boring for me. But I want to, which leads me to my next point. Where is this going, actually? Is this something that's worth fighting or dying for, to violate the law to allow symbolic or real sanctuary for illegal aliens, of which Jesse points out the ones that are being arrested are criminals. Is this something that you are willing to fight and die for? Is this like, do you think this is as big as a fight against slavery or for civil rights or for the women's right to vote? Do you actually believe that you would rather put our country's laws for the sake of illegal immigrants, in which some of them are actually criminals?
Majority.
Criminal recidivists.
You should go check the numbers on this, because most Americans not only support the Dreamers, they support the idea that the people who have been here, that 11 million population, should be allowed to
I support the Dreamers. We're not talking about that. We're talking about breaking the law.
He's talking about a very, very different group. Let's please distinguish between the Dreamers and people who are criminal predators, that are criminal recidivists, that reoffend.
Remember the argument, Juan, you use whenever we talk about radical Islam and you accuse us of tainting all of Islam?
Yeah.
You're doing that.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, but listen,
when we talk about, I was just saying to Kimberly was, all the people who are here illegally, and I hope you hear this, Jesse, are not criminals.
Okay, well, we're
not all Muslims are radical terrorists. That's the argument that we use.
But how about the people, the God-fearing people, law-abiding people that come into this country from other countries and they obtain citizenship?
Get in line.
Like my father came in from Ireland and served in the military. Okay, then my mother moved over from Aguadilla in Puerto Rico to San Francisco. Okay. Worked hard, worked jobs in the city, worked as a teacher, did the whole thing. They weren't trying to violate any laws. They weren't committing any crimes. So, you know, there's a healthy interest, believe me, on part of the Latino community, of which I am one of the members, to make sure that the laws are upheld in this country. That is the right thing to do, to be law-abiding and respectful of those that want to come in. You can still have an open policy while respecting the laws on the book.
And you have the two best parades.
They are a little unruly, right?
No, they're the best.
They're the best. I know.
I'm all for those parades.
We can all concur with that.
You got to watch out for ICE agents at the parade, though.
Oh, my God. There's always a Debbie Downer or a Debbie Wanner in the crowd.